That'll do, pig. That'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. What up, peeps? Peep squeaks. How you doing? Good. Good. Awesome. Awesome. Aww. Well, sorry to hear that. Listen. It is June 18th. Happy Juneteenth tomorrow. June 19th. Sunday. Tomorrow is Juneteenth. Juneteenth, that makes me happy. I don't seem happy today. That's because I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. We had a band show last night, and I didn't get in bed until like 3 o'clock. It was 3:30 at least before I went to sleep. And then we had an earthquake at like 4 a.m., which of course I slept through. It's the first earthquake that I'm aware of in this area. Oh, anyway. Thanks, Joe. It is Saturday morning. It's lunchtime on Saturday, June 18th. And I am a little bit brain dead. But, so I wanted to give you an update. It's been, I don't know, it's been a while since I've shot one of these. There are a couple of things that I want to mention. First of all, I did receive 2 new batches of illustrations this week from Logan. I don't know if I've ever shown you this, but this is my folder of illustrations, my portfolio of illustrations. This is that's the first 2 books. This is the anthology, and then there's some spaces in there, and book 3. We're actually working on book 3 right now. So that's really all I have to say about that. Some really cool illustrations coming in from Logan. Logan is ahead of the game because with the first 2 books, what I would do is I would get the manuscript ready to send to my editor, and I would send him, and when I had that manuscript that close where it was ready for my editor, then I would actually print a bound manuscript copy and have it shipped to him. Because Logan is in prison, I can't like email it to him. Whatever. Anyway, so just to give you a reference, next month, July the 10th or the 13th. I think it's the 13th. So less than a month from now, oh my God. Less than a month from now is when I've contracted with my editor to give her the 3rd book and the anthology for, I'm hoping for a developmental edit for the 3rd book, a copy edit for the anthology. But I'm struggling to get that money together. But regardless, let's just say for simplicity's sake, in a month, a month from now, I would also send Logan a printed copy of the manuscript so that he could begin illustrating it. Except for book 3, rather than doing that, I would send him 5 or 6 chapters as I got them ready, or ready in one of the earlier drafts of the manuscript. Not the very first draft, because that first draft was written in 2017 and 2018, but so I would say like 2 drafts in. Yeah, I think that's probably fair. I would send him 5 or 6 chapters at a time when I got them ready, and a month ahead of when he would receive the printed manuscript for books 1 or 2, he has only maybe 5 or 6 illustrations left for book 3 because I've been sending him chapters all along. He's been well ahead. He's been waiting for a couple of inspirational pictures. I will oftentimes send him pictures that he asks for to kind of help him compose an illustration. He's been waiting for a few of those from me, and he's got 5 or 6 left. He's got for the anthology and the 3rd book, which some of the anthology pieces already had illustrations because they were original stories or something that existed in an earlier manuscript for either books 1 or 2, or even book 3, and were moved to the anthology. Thanks, Joe. Yeah, but anyway, so he's ahead of the game. He's so ahead of the game, in fact, that he is going back and illustrating new illustrations to replace some of the illustrations in the first 2 books that he wasn't satisfied with, which makes sense because as an illustrator, he is now 3 books into this series, 4 if you consider the anthology a full book, but it's not a full book, or not as many illustrations. It's like 10 illustrations as opposed to like 30. But he's much better now as an illustrator, and he sees that, and so he has been going back and redoing some of the earlier illustrations, and I hope to be able to print some of those alternate versions in one of the books with a note from him, just for those of you who would be interested. Also, I just said alternate versions. He's also been doing like alternate versions of new chapters. Like he will send me 2, 3 versions for some of the chapters when he's not sure what he wants to do, or he has a couple of ideas and one of them seems really exciting but also more challenging, and he doesn't feel confident that he can pull it off, or whatever. For whatever reason, he will send me a couple options, which is a lot of fun. Yeah, so that's cool. Let me think. Yeah, so the anthology and the 3rd book are almost completely illustrated. I don't have covers for either yet, and that's one of the most exciting pieces. But there are some really, really cool illustrations in these 2 books, 3 in the anthology. Another thing that I've done recently, I'm pretty sure I told you guys that I was or did shoot the video content for my book teaser that I'm hoping to use to promote the release of the audiobook. I have recorded the entire first book as an audiobook, and I need to get with my audiobook editor, my brother, and get him going on that because I really wanted to release that in August, maybe. I wanted to do both Scarecrow and Shadow, release those audiobooks, and use the teaser video that I shot with my friend Cameron for that. And I'm not sure if it's realistic to get both of them recorded and edited, especially since for the next month I have to focus on getting the 3rd book's manuscript and the anthology ready for the editor, my editor. But anyway, all of that is just to say I did shoot the footage with Cameron, and that was fun to shoot. But I had this idea for like a soundscape more than a musical accompaniment for the video. There's a scene, for those of you who've read Scarecrow, and if you haven't read Scarecrow, what are you watching these videos for? So the Dark Wood, where Elliot spends over half the book, I would say, chasing after this phantom Scarecrow. The Dark Wood is a low place, and it is a sentient place, though to what degree it remains open to interpretation. But it is the pact that is referenced at the beginning of the series was between the Broidane and the Dark Wood. There are similar pacts in other regions. So the Dark Wood basically agrees to allow them to use its dark energy to funnel their harvest, in a way. Whatever. Anyway, the Dark Wood is a nasty beast. It is a forest, but it's also almost like a malevolent beast in and of itself. And when it becomes agitated, it rattles and makes lots of noise. And so my idea was to try to recreate that kind of Dark Wood soundscape instead of having traditional music in the video. So my friend Nick, who just graduated from college as a music major, came over yesterday, and we set my mic up, same mic that I use to record my audiobooks, and we just began to play with different items, household items, different things, anything from wooden dowel rods to belts to baby rattles to, at one point, hot breath Eugene. Which I would love to incorporate his hot breathing into the video, because it would work. The dark force being a sentient thing, I think it could be super creepy. Zip ties. We used zip ties, like big heavy duty zip ties and little zip ties, and yeah, just all kinds of strange things. Anything that I could put my hands on and tap or shake or rattle, that would create a sound texture that I felt sounded and felt organic enough to exist in this Dark Wood world. So that's kind of cool, and that was a lot of fun for my creative side. That was fun. So we'll see how that goes. I have some editing to do, but as soon as I have that trailer video ready, I'll share it with you. But peace out, home skillets. You do what you do. Do what makes you happy. Be happy. Mostly I was just wanting to whet your appetite or your whistle or something else. Just trying to get something wet. Anyway,